So I'm looking at a blog post. This is from jackcanfield.com, productivity tips. And you, like me, I'm sure have quite a few blog posts, but I'll just read the headlines here for a second. There's clean up your messes. 2, focus. 3, just say no. 4, practice the rule of 5, which we've talked about a bit. 5, meditate. And this is going to seem so mundane, but I'm very curious if you could expand a bit on clean up your messes and how you go about doing it, because I have a few Achilles heels, as I suppose we all do. And one of them is I collect so much goddamn paper. I am a hypographic note-taking maniac, and I just have paper. It metastasizes to cover every flat surface that I have. And I try to take photos here and there and digitize, but it's messy and it really agitates me. And I'm not saying that that's ideal. Maybe it shouldn't bother me. But how do you think about, why is number 1 of 5 on productivity tips, clean up your messes? And how do you do it?
Well, you're talking to a fellow person that needs the same rehab, just so you know. I take more notes at a conference than almost anybody. And I've got literally books full of notes and taking notes when I'm listening to stuff and podcast things. I think the problem is that every time you look at all that, it's taking your attention.
Mm-hmm.
And so the research that I've read says we have the ability to hold about 7 attention units at a time. And so what happens is that you'll notice the research also, like if you haven't paid the bill yet, any good waiter or waitress can tell you what you had.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you pay the bill, you ask them 10 minutes later, they don't remember anymore. They don't need to.
Yeah.
So what happens is all those attention units are being taken up by things that are incomplete. So messes in my world are incompletions. So anything that's incomplete. Now that can be that thing you started, you didn't finish. It could be that letter you were writing, the book you're not finished up, the notes you have over here. But what I've learned to do is find a place for those things. Like lots of filing systems. I have filing systems in my computer. I have filing systems, about 10 drawers in my office that are file drawers. And so things go in those places. And if I need to remember something to do it, I have what's called a come up file. So let's say I need to do something March 28th. I have a folder called March. So on the 1st of March, I go through that folder of everything I put in there, and then I put it into my calendar for those days. Or I can put it in now, like called Steve on March 28th. But if there's papers related to that, things we're going to talk about, whatever, it goes in my March file. So it's there. It's not in my visual cue. So what happens is, whether it's a relationship, we've all had that experience of walking through a grocery store and seeing someone down the aisle that we don't want to talk to, so we go down another aisle and hope we evade them, because it's incomplete. So all that energy is taken up because it's not complete. All the things you've never said, the upsets, the thank yous, the acknowledgments, the wanting acknowledgments and not having got them, they're taking up space in your head. So everything you can close up, it's almost like you're taking a piece of paper off the desk, and pretty soon you have a clean desk. You know Dan Sullivan's work, the strategic coach?
Yeah, he's got some great stuff.
Well, one of the things I learned from him, he doesn't have a desk. He's got 3 or 4 offices with conference tables. And he'll go into one and say, bring over that stuff. And he'll work with one of his people. They do all the things they need to do. They walk out with all the papers. He's done, doesn't have that pile up shit that I deal with and you deal with. But the reality is that everything is incomplete. You're walking through the hall of your house, you see a little crack in the wall, and you go, oh, it needs to get fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty soon, you won't see that crack because you have to block it out of your awareness to pay attention to other things. So now things are not getting handled that need to get handled. And also, if you do keep paying attention to it, that's time you could have spent writing your book or thinking about your project or loving your mother or giving good feedback to your girlfriend or whatever. So the reality is it's really important to clean that up. And there's financial messes, there's garage messes, there's, the attic, the tool drawer, the door that has the leashes,
oh my God, I can feel my cortisol piling up as you're listening. sounds like you're in my house on my nanny cam.
I'm going to say to you, I have a sheet of like 21 things you need to clean up.
Oh,
I used to work for a company called Insight Training Seminars. And if you were a trainer, you had to clean all that up because you had to be living that you were complete. And you couldn't teach it if you weren't living it. Think about it. Financial records, your checkbook not balanced, stuff in your car, clothes that don't fit anymore. I mean, you can go down a list of all that stuff. I literally had to go through my clothes at one point. I'm a shirt whore. I love shorts, Uh,
This is another thing we have in common. No, I have so many t-shirts. It's just
yeah,
unacceptable. It's indefensible.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but I had to go through and kind of clean it out, because it got to a point where I couldn't even put anything in the closet. And so the rule is if I haven't worn it in the last 60 days and it's not a tuxedo or something like that, it's gone. I love all the decluttering books that are out there and, all that kind of stuff. One person said, go through your house, take everything you haven't used in the last 30 days, put it in a box, label the box, what's in it. And if about another 120 days go by and you haven't used it, just throw it out because you're never going to use it again.
Well, I'll tell you a dirty little secret, which is, I moved 8 years ago from San Francisco to Austin, and I moved all my stuff from California into storage because there was a gap where I was shopping for a place and I didn't have anywhere to put all this stuff. It has been sitting in storage, all that stuff, for 8 years, and I get a bill for it every month, and I'm like, I should go down and take a look at that, and I'm like, I cannot allow myself to look at that stuff because I'm going to want to keep all this junk that I haven't needed in 8 years. So it's my ignorance is bliss approach.
Yeah.
It's a small tax to pay at this point. Oh, yeah, stuff.
George Carlin does a really good routine on stuff. If you can find it, it's really amazing.
Oh, I will find it.
Yeah.
George Carlin, what a genius. Also, his late night bit on heaven and hell, people can look that up, where it's like with in heaven, the French are the cooks, the Japanese, the lovers, and this, and then in hell, X, Y, and Z. It's also worth checking out. But decluttering, the 21 things that I need to clean up, please do send that to me.
Yeah, I will.
Is that something we could share in the show notes for this
Yeah,
episode?
sure,
If other
sure.
people. Okay. All right. Perfect.
I think it's even a page in my book. If not, I'll get it for you.